Hey folks, Space Wolf Dan here at the Hobby Goblin Studio, ready to bring you another close look at the Space Wolf detachment, the Champions of Russ. Specifically, we're going to talk about which saga you should start with and why. Before we start, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and comment below on what you want to hear next. Now let's dig in. There's one thing to think about when you're picking your sagas. Which one will be the hardest to achieve? Does your opponent's list have a bunch of monsters or vehicles? Does it have that one character just going to hide in its deployment zone all game? Or does it have the Grey Knights or Thousand Suns with a bunch of psychic weapons? You want to think about which saga you pick that will benefit you for the most of the game. With that in mind, let's break down each of the sagas. Starting with the elephant in the room, the Saga of the Warrior Born. Saga of the Warrior Born. If one of your character models kills an enemy character model in that turn, you activate sustain hits 1 in melee and the ability to advance and charge using the Relentless Assault stratagem. One scenario where I feel like Saga of the Warrior Born is an optimal pick is if you have a lot of Thunderwolf cavalry led by Wolf Lords. Being able to access that advance and charge for just 1 CP or for free, although it is 1 unit doing it, paired with that battle leader with the lethal hits makes a really deadly combo. Now with that in mind, let's jump into our next saga. The Saga of the Beast Slayer. This saga is completed when one of your character models kills an enemy vehicle or monster model during that turn. When completed, you get an army-wide lethal hits in melee and unlock the +1 to wound ability from the Go for the Throat stratagem. On paper, this seems like a powerful saga to start with, but usually we can gain access to this saga fairly easily throughout our games, and access to lethals comes pretty easily from our lieutenants and our battle leaders, which makes this saga the last option I consider when picking my sagas to start with. The matchup I can think of that greatly benefits us starting with Saga of the Beast Slayer is against Greater Demons, specifically against a lot of Greater Demons. They're holding both the monster and the character keywords, so you have easy access to those sustained hits by just killing one with one of your characters, and then you already have the +1 to wound to damage those high toughness, high wound characters. So with that in mind, that brings us to our final saga, the Saga of the Bear! This saga is completed when one or more of your characters was reduced to below half of their starting number of wounds during that turn, but not destroyed. Achieving this saga gives your army 6+ feel no pain from all incoming damage. This saga also unlocks the second ability of our Runic Wards stratagem, giving us improved feel no pain rolls against mortals and psychic damage, bringing them to a 4+. Right off the bat, this saga is just completely out of your control. Best you can do is throw your characters out there, hope the Allfather blesses you just enough to keep your characters alive, but under half strength, until the end of the turn, and then you get your 6+ feel no pain for the rest of the game. In conclusion, being able to just start with a saga automatically completed is just such a great benefit for our army. And when you're picking these sagas, you want to pick the one that's going to be the hardest to achieve. For me, I like to pick the Saga of the Bear, because that 6+ feel no pain from the very beginning of the game is just a huge benefit for the entire game from very early on, even if you don't start first. You can find ways to take out enemy characters or vehicles, but you can't control how many wounds you're left with at the end of a turn. Plus, we have the added benefit of having a direct counter to our blood enemies, the Thousand Suns. As for Saga of the Beast Slayer, I do like to start with that one for some specific matchups. As I mentioned before, the Greater Demons, or if I face an army with a lot of vehicles that I really want to punch up into, specifically Chaos Knights or Tau. If I really want that extra AP or the extra wound from the Go for the Throat stratagem, that's the pick I go with. Now I hear you barking, big dog. How is this even a debate? Saga of the Warrior Born is the obvious choice. Advance and charge for 1 CP or for free with a captain or a Wolf Lord. It seems like an obvious choice, but to that I say, sometimes. That being said, it's not hard and fast. Times that I would pick Saga of the Warrior Born is if I'm facing an army with a lot of bodies and very few characters. You want those sustained hits to be able to punch up into those multi-wound bodies, and you want the advance in charge to be able to close the distance and take out the enemies you need to. There you have it. We have broken down the sagas of the Champions of Russ detachment and the pros and cons of starting with each. Comment below on which saga you like to start with and why. Is it the Bear, Beast Slayer, or the Warriorborn? Let us know. Thanks again for joining me here at Hobby Goblins. If you like the content, please like and subscribe for more content, Space Wolf battle reports, and tactics.